What's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review, and tonight let's take a look at the Mezco 112 Wolverine. Now this is pretty much the same exact figure as the New York Comic Con fall exclusive Tiger Stripe Wolverine, so I'll definitely be comparing that. But I wanted to pick up this version as well too, because this is more or less like the Wolverine that I kind of grew up on at first. And then of course in the 90s we got the Tiger Stripe. But packaging is pretty much nice, much bigger than the exclusive one. But we do have this nice brown. You got the X, you got Wolverine, you got 112 post play display, you got the 112 on the top. On the side you got the cool yellow. And on the back of course we do have all the images that we saw. Showing off all of the hands, the alternate head, the base, the sword, and then all the cool pictures. And of course this does slip up to reveal the figure. But yeah, that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a closer look. Okay, here he is out of the packaging along with everything that we do get with this Wolverine figure. As always, we get the awesome Mezco 112 base, which is looking great. Matches the outfit with the brown, yellow, and black. So that's very cool. We have the X, and as always you have your dynamic flight stand that you can either peg the figure on to the peg with the foot holes, or you can pop that out, pop this in, that will swivel down there. That hinges at the bottom, hinges in the middle, hinges at the top, swivels at the top, and then of course you do have your clamp. So that's always awesome and nice that it is included. You do get your Mezco 112 accessory bag, so that's very nice. And then as far as other accessories, he does come with a few pair of hands. He comes with, actually, which is strange, we get one fisted hand for his left arm, and then we have a gripping hand for his right arm, which is more or less for this sword that he comes with. But we don't get two closed fists. I thought that was a little strange. We do have two kind of style posed hands, and these look good. We have that really nice kind of cool texture pads on the inside of his hands, and the sculpting is nice on these. Very cool. We do have his claw hands, which look great as always. These turned out really nice. I love the silver that they use for the claws, and they are nice and straight. I have one that's a little bit kind of bent. I had the same issue on my Tiger Stripe Wolverine figure as well, but I mean they still look good. And then we do get his sword. He does come with this really nice sword. It has a really nice red color on the blade. And then like the hilt of it is a little bit sloppy, for normal Mezco work. It does look a little bit on the sloppy side. And then you do have this sheath that it will go into. Let's make sure you're doing it the right way so you don't go rubbing any paint. And again, the sheath is okay, but again I feel like these little straps right here look a little rough. They don't look very very nice. And then we do get two head sculpts with this figure. Same exact head sculpts that we got with the Tiger Stripe exclusive. So we have the one stern head, and here is the head that came with the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. So you can see it's the same exact head. Only difference is they painted brown on the back. And then taking a closer look at the figure. I think, overall the figure turned out nice. I do like it. I know there was some concern with the shorts, in the first promotional pictures being too long. And I think they fixed it for the most part, but it does look a little bit funny for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just mine, but it does look a little bit funny. But and then we do have this kind of, angry grimace face that we have on this one, which is the exact same one that they use for the Tiger Stripe. And the same thing, you just have the brown in the back instead of the yellow. But I mean, again, really nice sculpt with this. The shoulder pads, don't bother me as much as I think they bother some other people. I hear a lot of complaints. You do get some nice kind of like dry brushing to bring out some scuffing and all on this side. It's a little bit more on this side than on this side. This one's a little bit more clean, but I mean they don't look too bad. It's not like, it doesn't take anything away from the overall look of the figure. I really do like this kind of like stitching work that we have on the side here. That looks really cool. It's almost like a rubbery kind of material. So that looks really cool. The stitching up around the armpit seems to be much more cleaner than on the tiger stripe version. So I do like that. That looks cool. We do have a nice kind of black line that kind of outlines this, you know, the brown going down the front of the shirt here. So that looks good. Get that same thing on this side. So that looks really cool. I like that. The belt looks really good. I really like this red that they put in the middle. Very cool. I mean, it would have been cool if they would have put an X through it, but it still looks good with just having this, you know, plain red, because when it hits the light, it really does, you know, kind of shimmer. So that's awesome. We get some nice sculpted pouches. And I don't know if it's the exact same belt. It actually might be. Yeah, it looks to be the exact same belt, just painted differently. Yeah, so they use the exact same belt. And then you do have the shorts, you know, which turned out good for the most part. They do look good. We get some nice kind of clean stitching. A little bit of shoddy stitching back here, and I got some yellow kind of bleeding through, but, you know, overall it does look good. And then we got the boots, which again are the same exact boots as we got on the other version, just painted differently. But I really liked the boots and the gauntlets on both versions. So this just kind of, you know, goes with the scheme of this outfit, of this, you know, old classic outfit with the browns and yellows and blacks. So I do like that. I think it turned out really good. Nice stitching work going down the legs as well. And then the same thing with the gauntlets. Get some nice kind of, you know, pouches sculpted in there, and they look really good. So yeah, I mean, I think overall the figure, you know, especially if you like this old classic comic style Wolverine, this is definitely going to be one that you're going to probably want to pick up. Again, we get these really nice cool straps on the back of the boots. I like that. And we get the nice kind of silver painting on the back. You know, now it seems like they did a much better job with the silver painting, even on the buttons and everything, than on the tiger stripe one than they did on this one. But, you know, overall it still looks good and makes for a really cool looking Wolverine. Same thing with the arms. We get that, you know, kind of hair kind of sculpted in there. Nice skin tone overall. I like how he can get his arms all the way down. They stick out a little bit, but for the most part, you know, you get them all the way down. Now, as far as his articulation, it's basically the same exact thing. If you have the exclusive version, you know, you do get rotation of the head. You also get rotation with the neck. With both, you get really nice down, get really nice up, get really nice side to side. So that's awesome. The shoulders, you can pretty much rotate them all the way around until the shoulder pad pops off, which was the same issue I had with my other figure, but it does pop back on there fairly easy. It's the same kind of mechanism, but like while it's out, I can show you it's a much cleaner stitching job that we have going around that part. So I do like that. Just trying to find where I plug this into. There it goes. Yeah, it's very easy just to snap that right back in place. But you do get about that much. You can go all the way around. You can bring it about that much out. You do have the bicep swivel in there. You do have the double jointed elbows. So you get about that much range. You do have the movement in the torso. So you have, you know, a little bit of rotation, a little bit of forward, a little bit of back, a little bit of side to side. With both joints, you get them to crunch over about that much, which isn't really much. I had the same issue with the Tiger Stripe figure too. You get a nice back, but you don't get a lot of crunch, so that's a little bit disappointing. Then you get, you know, a little bit more side to side. The legs will come out really nice. You can pretty much almost get about a split. Come forward really nice. Come back. You do have rotation there at the thigh. You do have double jointed knees, which give you almost about a little bit better than 90 degrees. That's about it, just because of the way the sculpting is on his calf muscle. As far as the boot, you do have rotation at the boot, and then for the foot, you get, you know, a little bit of, you get nice forward, nice back rotation, and a little bit of pivot, side to side pivot, so not too bad. And you do get nice kind of detail on the bottom of the boot as well. Now as far as popping out the hands, it's nice and easy. Let's get his claws on here to see how awesome he looks with the claws on. And really nice and easy changing out the claws. But yeah, that's what he looks like with the claws on, and he looks awesome. So yeah, I mean, when it comes down to this figure, it's more or less just preference. Unless you just didn't get a chance to get your hands on the Tiger Stripe version, because that sucker did sell out very quick when it went up for pre-order online. And then if you didn't have a chance to go to the New York Comic Con, then you were short, even though they didn't have enough to give out even at the event. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same exact figure, but the cool thing is you can pop off, if you do have the Tiger Stripe head, you can put on the unmasked head. And I think it looks much better on this figure than it does on the Tiger Stripe figure. So that's really, really cool. And vice versa. I mean, we have that one Grimace head, and you can pop those on and off as well. But yeah, they both just, I mean, both of the figures are pretty much exactly the same. They're really, really nice figures at the end of the day. I mean, they're great, great figures. Either one is a fantastic one to own, just more or less whichever one you prefer. If you like this really old school Wolverine, or you like the classic, Tiger Stripe Wolverine. But they're both fantastic figures. As far as a comparison with a Marvel Legends, here he is next to the Marvel Legends, which was the the recent one we got with the Toy Biz, the vintage Toy Biz era. So you see he's short. The Mezco does run a little bit taller than the Hasbro one. Here he is next to the Flash. So you can see he's a little bit shorter within the Mezco line as well. Even though this Tiger Stripe Wolverine was a little bit on the tall side, so they're both going to be a little bit on the tall side, but they're both still going to make great additions to the collection. And he does hold his katana, or his sword, really well. If you put on that gripping hand, he will hold on to that really nice, and that one gripping hand that it does come with. Now there's nowhere for you to really store this on him, so it's more or less just going to be a accessory. You have to kind of sit down next to him. There's no storage on the belt, and I think the belt is glued on. So I was thinking maybe you could kind of cram it down in there, but yeah, the belt seems to be a little bit glued on, so I don't know if you want to go pulling that off. But yeah, guys, that is a look at the Mezco 112. This is the old, old comic book brown and yellow Wolverine. Like I said, it's the exact same, pretty much the exact same figure you got with the Tiger Stripe Wolverine if you did get that one. But it is very cool. You can interchange the heads if you do have both of them and put this unmasked head, because I just think it looks much better on this figure than it did on the the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. But yeah, guys, that was the review. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next figure review.